Okay, so let's just go A and X and delete everything and jump into top view. So now we can go Shift A and bring in a plane and scale up this plane 5 times and change the mode from solid mode into render mode. So let's just open up the timeline and change it into the shader editor and then click on new. So we're just going to play around with a couple of nodes here. So this is really beginner friendly, but I'm going to show you a trick that most people don't know about, and that is how you can get really cool looking colors that have a really high contrast, and we're going to do it the quick and dirty way. So let's just start off here with bringing in a Voronoi texture node, and then we're just going to connect the distance into the base color. So what normally people do here is just go Shift A and then they bring in a color ramp, and then they play around with these values to bring in the contrast, and then they change the colors and maybe bring in another color here, and there we go, something like this. But a way faster way to do this, and in my head a way better way to do it, is actually by bringing in an image texture node. This technique here may have to experiment a little bit with some different pictures, but when you get used to just use an image texture node instead of this color ramp, at least when it comes to creating these abstract animations, this is just way better. So just go open up, and here we can just pick almost any kind of image. So just find a high contrast image that you want to use, and we can just select this one here and then just go open image. So now if you just forget about this color ramp and plug the distance from the Voronoi into the vector, this image texture, and then the color into the base color of this principled BSDF. So now we have these really cool looking colors, and they have a really high contrast as well, so they're pretty much perfect. But the lighting here is obviously way off, so I'm going to show you how I'm doing the lighting here. So let's just change this into the world and go Shift A, and we are going to bring in an HDRI. So this will give this abstract background a natural look, and the HDRI will take the light information and transcend that onto this plane here. So let's just go open and find our HDRI, and I will leave a link to this exact one. This is one of my favorites. It just gives a really cool and natural kind of look to your animation or images, so 3D stuff that you are doing in Blender. So just go open image here. This may take a second or two to load depending on the resolution of this HDRI, but now we can just connect the color into the color of this background, and now we have this HDRI environment. So to get some more control over this HDRI, we can firstly bring in a camera, and then we can go Control Alt and 0, and then just put the camera into top view like this. So the next thing that we want to do is rotating this HDRI around so we can get different light information onto this plane here. And to do that, we can just select this node and then go Control and T and bring in a texture coordinate and a mapping node. So if you don't have this add-on, just go Edit, Preferences, Add-on, and type in Node Wrangler and check the box here, and also check for autosave. So now what we can do is just hold on Shift, and then we can rotate this HDRI in any direction that we want. So you see what kind of difference this makes. So I'm just going to pick somewhere a fun look that I find that is have sort of like a crystallized and cool look. Somewhere like this is fine. So another really nice node to use when you're playing around with this HDRI is this RGB curve node. So from here, what I usually do is just go to the contrast for C, and then I just take this line and hold in the right mouse clicking thing, and then just drop it in like this. So here we can just have full control over the contrast like that. You can also play around with the different colors, maybe make it a little bit more red like that. And if you want to go completely crazy here, you can also bring in a hue saturation value node, and here we can play around with even more values. So for the sake of this tutorial, we are going to go back into object here, and I'm going to show you some stuff that you can do to create different abstract animations. So we have this Voronoi texture here, and what we can do here is go and change the styles. So let's just select this Manhattan style here, or this Shibishu thing, and all of these can easily be animated as well. So just to show you real quick here, if I just bring in the timeline and increase the number hit to 1000. So if I want to animate this pattern here, so best way to do this is changing this Voronoi texture node from 3D into 4D. So now we have this double view option. And from here, we can just type in hash and then frame, and then divided by a certain number. So if you put this number to a high amount, the animation will move slower. You put it to a low amount, the animation will move faster. So let's go with 2000 here, and then just press enter. Now we have this animation, and we can play around with the scale in real time. So maybe something like that. And of course, we can also just change the styles. And if you want to, let me show you one more little node trick here. So if you bring in a noise texture as well, and if you connect the noise texture, the factor into the vector of this Voronoi, you will have this really cool looking pattern that is actually my favorite one. And from here, you can also animate this Voronoi, this noise texture the same way that you animate the Voronoi, by just changing this from 3D to 4D, and then just putting in hash frame and then a certain number. So let's go with 3000 here. And if you want to learn how you can loop this in a perfect way, I will leave a link in the description to that, so you can make a perfect loop if you want to. And then from here, you can just go and play around with different colors. And now my TV in the background turned on itself. So I'll take that as a hint that the tutorial is over. But here, so I think this is good. And if you can subscribe and like and all of that, please do that. Have a great day, and peace out.